Okay, now we have our index page that I've just created, I've been working on, and what I'm going to do is what I would like to see happen is I want to actually start putting more information in here. I want to start, for instance, putting in some images, and I want to put in some hyperlinks and all that. Now, in order to do that, we have to do a couple of things. Now, one of the problems is, up until this point, we've been dealing with one file. When you start dealing with more than one file, it's really, really important to have yourself a decent file system. All right, so that means you really want to put everything into a single folder. Now, I'm putting this on the desktop. You can certainly put it in your H drive. That's okay. I'm going to click here on my desktop, and I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to put in New Folder. And I'm going to call my new folder. I have to drag this folder down so you guys can see it. I'm going to call this new folder. I'm going to rename it my _web. Now, I am going to strongly suggest a couple things. Number one, keep your name short. Do not put in spaces. You can put in like underscore to keep them in one place. Now, so I've got my web. That's good. I'm actually going to close down my index page. I'm going to drag my index page into my web. Boom. And let's open up my web. Great. And I got my index page. Now, the problem here is, in addition to having all my web pages in here, I also am going to have my images. It's very helpful for a file organization thing to go New Folder, and I'm going to call this Images. Folks, try to use these words that I'm giving you because they will make your life easier in the long run. Okay, so I'm going to open this with Notepad. Okay, and I got my nice web page. All right, I'm also going to just click on and open up an Internet Explorer. Okay, so there we got our little web edit environment. Okay, first thing I want to do, actually, I think what I want to do is I want to put in an image. So it has to go after the block quote. I'm going to put it after the text, and I'm going to put in an image. But before I put in an image, I have to get an image. So I'm going to go to a web page because one of the things I'm encouraging you people to do is to always use original images. I'm going to go to my web page, which is the 3 Mile River web page, www.threemileriver.com. All right, 3mileriver.com. All right, this is one that I created a few years ago. It's part of the ACEC program, all right, which got the 3 Mile River turned into an area of critical environmental concern, something I'm kind of proud of. Anyway, I took this really cool picture in my backyard, which is these two little raccoons peeking out at me from behind a tree branch. I like this picture an awful lot. So I'm going to right-click on it, and I'm going to save this picture on my desktop, in my web, and I'm going to put it in the images folder. And I'm going to give it a very short name that will make sense to me, RACCOON, and it's JPEG.jpg. Very important that you put the file extension on that. All right, so if I look here, I look in my web, look at my images, now I got my raccoon picture in there. Now, one thing you guys are going to be doing is, you guys are going to be easy because you're going to be putting all your own images in there, so it'll be easy for you to name things. All right, short names, correctly spelled, will make this process a lot easier. Okay, so I want to insert an image, so it's going to be in a tag, so it's open caret img. Okay, so it tells you it's an image. Now, this is one of those standalone type carets. It is not, you're not an open and close type situation. All right, basically you can tell you all sorts of different things about how you want the image to look. Or for instance, you may want to say, I want to have a different kind of text here or whatever. But don't worry about that. I'm just going to tell you how to put the image in first, and then I'll show you some of the other stuff that shows up later. SRC stands for source equals. Now, I have to tell the web page where to go. And in this case, it's really, really easy because the image is located in the images folder, duh, and the backslash indicates it's inside the folder or below that level, and then it's raccoon.jpg. And then all I have to do, I think I actually can tell that I made a mistake, but I'm just going to let myself make that mistake, and I'm going to hit close. Okay? And then let's hit File, Save As, and since I'm making a mistake, I'm going to save it as 2, and I'm going to save it as All Files, Index 2, And when I go into my web and click on, whoops, I screwed up again. I didn't put HTML. You guys were supposed to remind me to do that. File, save as, image2.html, save. And I think when we hit, go to here and go to image2.html, let me see. Yep, oh, well, the image does show up. Okay, I was thinking that I had left out the quotation marks and that was going to screw me up, but apparently it did not. All right, so that's how you put images in, very basically. Okay, image, source, images, raccoon.jpg. All right, if you want to do something, I think I would really prefer to have that centered. If you only have one image, you should center it. And of course, because I'm putting in a tag, I have to close the tag. Control S to save. Go back to my really cool web page number 2. Hit refresh. Boom. Now it's centered. All right, and that's basically all you have to know about putting in images. I will show you some other things to do later on, and that's it for today.